Frank Martin coach Derrick James said, what's the point of Frank Martin versus Keyshawn Davis? He says it's nothing to gain either way. I'm paraphrasing. He said Keyshawn Davis lose, then what? Then he's done. Then Top Rank release him. Then what? He said a fight don't make sense right now for either one of those guys' trajectory of their career. He says, the promoters have a plan, and he basically neither one of them, Keyshawn nor from Keyshawn point of view or Frank Martin point of view, would make sense, and who's gonna put the money up for the fight and all that other shit he's saying. So, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, Irv like to point to Bomac saying that maybe a few more fights down the road, but you got to understand, dude, Bomac is employed by Keyshawn Davis. Like it or not, the promoters are employed by the fighter. If the fighter wants something bad enough, they can make it happen. Obviously, it's compromises to be. It's compromises. There's compromises. Bob Arum said he didn't have no problem making the fight. Make it. Don't know what Al Heyman think, but like I said before, Al Heyman got a lot of fight dates. I mean, got a lot of fighters, but not a lot of fight dates. So why wouldn't you let somebody front the bill, whatever it is? Even though he loved pricing his people out when he goes send them somewhere. So you price them out. Same thing with Andy Ruiz. You price them out, right? Then you turn around and they sit on the shelf and they go on pay-per-view and don't make half the money or even close to the money buy price. They don't make half the money that they price themselves out for. So it don't make sense. If somebody else is willing to front the bill for one of his fighters, let them, because they're not active. He want to keep fronting like he got power, but he don't. But the kind of stick, and Errol Spence said right now, ain't no money in the fight and all this shit, right? All right. What Frank Martin making right now fighting Michelle Rivera? What Keyshawn Davis making right now? So what is it? That's pocket change money for them promoters. What you give them a $500,000 a piece is probably more than either one of them made right now. You give them $500,000 a piece, bam. Get a bullshit out. You just make Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford a 3-fight card. Get them jokers $500,000 a piece. You take somebody like Gary Anton Russell, which I'll be addressing him pretty soon in the next couple of days, and you give him a little showcase fight on there, and that's your 3-fight card right then and there. Instead of having a 4-fight pay-per-view card, fuck that. Have one great co-feature. Have a prospect that you're going to spotlight on the undercard. On the opening bout. And that's what it is, bro. Them having 4-fight television cards and all of them bullshit. Just take all that money, invest it into one fight. Take a little bit that's less and invest it into an opening prospect. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. But, Derrick James, from a boxing standpoint of view, he is right. From a promotional standpoint of view, he is right. Keyshawn Davis just kind of wanted to get back for Errol Spence at some comments that he made that I think he took kind of the wrong way. And one thing you'll find in this industry, one of the things why I don't really care about interviewing and doing that shit, because you say something and you be critical of somebody then, or you be objective, let's just say that, I won't say critical. You can be critical, objective, or pick against them, and then they don't want to talk to you. Then they start acting funny, and then you went against the grain. See, as soon as you say something, a lot of these dudes take it the wrong way. Real talk. A lot of these dudes don't know how to take, okay, you got a fair point right there. Then it's like, oh, I lose my number. Or it's like, oh, man, you a hater. And then you got beef that you wasn't even looking for. So why even form a lot of these relationships when people can't take objectivity or take criticism? Now, if you're going out your way to talk and do some personal shit or say some shit out of line, and most men know what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. It ain't a thin line to walk. If you call a man certain words, you know what it is. If you do certain shit, you know what it is. We talk about, when I talk about relationships and shit, that could be female, that could be homeboy, that could be cousin. Nigga, you know, once some shit gone dead, man, I don't double back. And it could be some exceptions though. Like if I cut it off for a reason, I ain't really gonna double back, bro, because I don't know nothing come good of it. Once nigga done cross that line, or you got the train of thought, once a dude done cross that line, you already know how you can and can't fuck with a person. Straight up and down. You already know what it is. So you can't be surprised. I was telling the story to my barber and shit, man. I was at the chair the last Saturday and shit. I was telling him a story. We knew this dude. I'm gonna get back to the video. I was talking about, I went to the club with one of my friends back in the day and shit. And we walking and shit, and this nigga he trying to snatch Cardi's. We go to the club, right? Yeah, St. Andrews downtown and shit. I don't even do clubs no more. One of the many reasons I don't. And him and his girl get into it. So this nigga go to the second floor, made it rain on her the whole night. I'm ready to go. So we end up going. We left or whatever. They done argued and shit. So we walking back to the car. It's just me and him. It's usually a group. I don't know why. I guess we ain't had shit else to do and shit. I had to study in there. So we walking. So this nigga tries to snatch this man Cartier glasses. I don't even get down like that, right? Him and his brother and them, they get down like that. But I don't even get down like that. Dog, when I literally tell you, bro, like, in my mind, like, I'm aware, but I don't know what the fuck he about to do. But the niggas that's on the wall, the one glass he trying to peep gang, this wasn't no small dude neither. He peeped, and they all jumped off the wall. Like, it was like 7 of them to us too, right? But the way they blended in, like, you couldn't even see the other niggas that he was with. Right? And they all jumped like, oh, what you doing, bro? What you doing, bro? But I'm closer to the street. He closer, obviously he got to snatch him. Hey, what you doing? He thought, oh, no. I said, bro, I swear to God, I'd never go hang out with this nigga again. I don't think we ever hung out again, like, in that capacity going to the club. So, like I said before, sometimes when motherfuckers show you who you are and put you certain positions, bro, you know, you got to know how you can fuck with them, how you can't fuck with them. Now, the story that brought it to my barber was, real quick, I'll tell you this story because it's funny. It's this dude. So I went to a small gym at the time, but we all was cool. And we used to go out on Fridays and shit. So one day he went out he met somebody else down there that we worked out with, right, on Friday. I think we was all supposed to meet down there that day. I don't think it happened, right? Because this nigga, like if you go to Detroit, it's the Ransom building, and then and then we got Michigan, left in Michigan. And then it's an island, and then it's a street. So it's a street, I forget what the name of the street is. All the motherfucker club, but it's a street that like I forget the name of the club. A lot of people go to this club too, bro. Jesus Christ, because they didn't let us in when I was younger. But it's right by, it's on Greektown, right on the street. But it's like Fishbones. But it's a little club that a lot of people go to. No, so right. So this nigga bagging out his car like this, right? He parallel parking with his head, or he bagging up with his head out the window. So the dude he was meeting down there, one of the dudes that was kind of he was affiliated with, he bagging out, and the man picked his glasses off his face. Picked his Cartiers off his face. So he bagging up like this, and nigga picked him, right? And was gone. We always laugh, we tell that story. This nigga was like, he 160 pounds benching when I'm benching. This nigga benching 315, 400, like strong ass nigga. But if you bagging out and nigga snatch your shit and you parallel parking, like, what you gonna do? He couldn't do shit. The nigga was gone. And he was trying to tell my mans, like, who my mans? He was with some niggas and shit. But he was telling the story, dog. He was like, he picked them so clean off his face that he didn't even touch him. I said, yeah, that's a professional glasses snatcher. That's a sport around Detroit. It's a dangerous sport to play, bro. Obviously, I gave you one story and another story. So when you wear them bitches, you got to be on alert. That's like getting your chain snatched in Detroit, you know? Nigga dipped, and it is what it is. But you get your karma for doing shit like that, real talk. Real talk. You get your karma, but nonetheless, but yeah, they right about that shit though. They definitely right. Like right now, it ain't really no point, ain't no bill on the line, and then the promoters, it ain't part of their plan, right? Even though Keyshawn got a silver medalist, it ain't part of their plan, right? And they not gonna be willing to put up no real money for the fight. Al gonna ask too much money for the fight. And Frank Martin gonna fight somebody that nobody give a fuck about. Keyshawn probably gonna fight somebody that nobody give a fuck about. Keyshawn see how Lomachenko moving. Keyshawn seeing Shakur leveling up. You know, Keyshawn, you know, got something against Errol Spence, and Keyshawn want to be a hustler. He want to be a go-getter, rightfully so. You know, and Frank Martin should want to oblige him and make that shit happen too. But then you got Errol Spence sitting right there with Derrick James kind of was making those comments on ES News saying like, oh man, ain't no money in that fight right now. What type of money this nigga making then? Like it can't be, them niggas can't be in the 500,000s right now. I could be wrong. But what's 500 a piece for them to both to fight each other? They can say 400 a piece, the winner take the 200 grand off the top. Boxing need more of that type shit, that gamesmanship, where people putting their purses up and the winner get 10%, 20%, whatever it may be. So, from a logical standpoint of view, but it's too much logic in boxing. You know, too much of anything it could be a bad thing. And it's too much logic in boxing. Oh, we got to move this way. Then one of them niggas fuck around and lose to Luis Johnson from, you know, New Mexico City, New Mexico or some shit. And they fuck around and lose to one of them dudes. And now you could have had a fight. You could have made some change. You could have, you know, that's worth a lot. And you hear Frank Martin said he coming back July 15th. A lot of people speculating that's when Spencer Crawford fighting July 15th. And it's just like, you know, if he gonna be on the undercard, he ain't gonna be versus nobody you care about. Ain't gonna be versus Esau Cruz. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be versus the Williams Zepeda. It ain't gonna be versus a guy even like, I don't even know. It ain't gonna be versus shit. So, it is what it is. But if two people want to fight, they can find a way to make a fight. They can fight, but they right, you know. What's the point? You know, belts on the line. It's just, you got some personal vendetta against Earl. You know, you want to beat, you know, Frank Martin, and you want to beat, you know, Errol Spence on the same night with Terrence Crawford, but potentially. But yeah, it is what it is. And they right from a logical standpoint of view. You know, you want to let it build, but it's too much marination. As, you know, per example, Spence and Crawford, too much marination. These young guys want to bang. They should be able to bang, but people say, well, Frank Martin too much for Keyshawn Davis right now. And to the eye test, yeah, Frank Martin fight Michelle Rivera, strong kid, older. You never know. Never know. But, you know, me, I'm always on the side of caution, where, you know, Keyshawn should get used to going a hard 10, then a hard 12. And move up the right way. You know, so he ain't the most spring chicken around, but, you know, some patience might be good for him. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole 9. Peace.